The war in Iran just made your short-term rental and mine even more valuable. Everyone is freaking out worldwide. But you know what I'm doing? I'm setting up my portfolio for another win. I'm going to tell you exactly that here in the next few minutes and what you should be doing about it right now. My name is Julie Gates. I'm a real estate investor in Savannah, Georgia. I've been at this a long time. I've been through a lot of highs, I've been through a lot of lows, and I'm not planning to go anywhere. And it's my job as a real estate investor to see into the future. And what I'm seeing right now, especially through my property management company, which manages both short-term and long-term rentals, is that we are about to hit a huge spike in the short-term rental market. And I am thrilled. If you're in the short-term rental world, you know that 2024 and 2025 were really tough years for short-term rentals. We had a huge boost in 2020, 21, 2022, and also 2023. And then as demand slowed and properties just were overpriced, it just slowed down to a crawl this past year. So 2025 really ended with quite a bit of a whimper. It was really tough, but as an investor, we have to know things go up, things go down, and we have to prepare ourselves accordingly. When supply exploded post-pandemic, prices surged up by 20%, and it's just really hard to sustain that. And I've seen a lot of people that overpaid for their short-term rentals during that time period slowly peter out of the business, okay? Short-term rentals are tough. It's a lot of work. It is a full-time job and you deal with a lot of complaints. So if you're not making money, it's super easy to burn out in this business. And I'm seeing that over and over. So supply nationwide has actually been decreasing. Even here in Savannah, we're seeing more and more owners just say, look, I'm making some money. I'm not making as much as I want. They don't want to reinvest into their decor because they haven't had a great year in 2025. So we're seeing a lot of opportunities. Whenever you see people getting out, that's a signal to you to get in. As Warren Buffett says, you want to be aggressive when others are scared and be scared when others are aggressive, okay? Like you've got to get in there. And right now, we've seen a massive pullback because of the market. When the war happened, it has created a new opportunity, okay? So now that we're in early 2026, the market has been kind of rebalancing and supply growth has slowed dramatically, which really helps those of us who are still here and aren't going anywhere. The math has been starting to work again, but then the war happened. And that's what we're here to talk about. On February 28th, the US and Israel began strikes on Iran. This doesn't really affect us at home yet, but it did create this wave of issues worldwide that is now coming back to be a boon in our industry. Within 2 weeks of February 28, over 46,000 flights in and out of the Middle East were canceled. It's been a huge disruption on international travel. Also, jet fuel went from $2.50 a gallon to nearly $4 a gallon overnight. That's a 56% spike. United Airlines CEO told the world fare increases would probably start quickly. He was right. Airfare is now up 50 to 124% depending on the route. That's a massive increase in cost. Spring break cancellations this year are already running at about 60% above normal. Travelers are pulling back international trips. They're not going to Mexico anymore because of political unrest there, and anything requiring uncertain airspace has been a problem. Not to mention the shortage of TSA agents, okay? People are just less and less interested in flying anywhere, especially internationally. But what we didn't see coming and what nobody's talking about yet is that this has created a huge boost for US based short-term rentals, okay? People still want to go on vacation. They still want to have a good time with their friends and family. And they are not going to Mexico. They are not going to Europe. They are definitely not going to the Middle East. They're staying right here. And that's an opportunity for you and me. And you've got to be aware of it, okay? I'm telling you right now, it is happening. I'm watching it right now in my portfolio and in the portfolio that I manage here at Sid Was Here. When people can't or won't fly internationally, they don't cancel their vacations. They drive. And I don't care where your short-term rental is located, you are a drive-to market for someone, okay? So those people are going to be more and more interested in coming to stay in your short-term rental than they were 6 months ago. If you're at a well-located, well-run short-term rental, you're probably sitting on a big pile of gold right now. So I'm telling you to get ready. This historical pattern is very well documented, okay? When costs rise and uncertainty grows, travelers shift to drive-to markets and safety. They're going to want to drive to Savannah. They're going to want to drive to the Smokies. They're going to drive to Florida. Whereas before they might have flown somewhere. But just know it's coming. Adjust your pricing, adjust your tech to watch for these trends because I'm seeing it already happening in this market. The Iran war just hit the accelerator and we've got to be prepared. 2026 is shaping up to be a very strong year for domestic short-term rentals. I said it first, and that is why I've been in this market so long, and that's why I'm going to be in this market for so long. I'm always going to be watching the trends in the future. It's not about what's happening today. It's about what is going on in the future. And if you can pivot yourself and be ready, you're going to profit. Here's the biggest picture for you investors, okay? AI and automation are reshaping entire industries, even as the war goes on. People are nervous about income. They're nervous about their jobs in 5 years. The smartest thing you can do right now is buy something real. And when I say real, I mean real estate. Stocks and crypto are bouncing up and down with every single headline. You can watch it. Every time the president speaks, the stocks either shoot up in the air or they drop down to the bottom. But you know what? That's just a bunch of headlines. You know what's been staying stable and kicking out steady cash flow? My real estate portfolio. So if you don't have one, or if you have a small one, it's time to think about this and realize that hard assets, they do stand the test of time. Real estate doesn't care what the market did today. It doesn't care what the president said today. And it doesn't care what Iran did last night. Rent hits, bookings come in, assets sit there compounding every single year and providing tax deductions. That's what hard assets do when nothing else can replicate it. Real estate doesn't get automated away. It never will. AI cannot replace your home, and you will always need somewhere to live, as will your tenants. Well-located short-term rentals in drive-to markets are not going to disappear overnight just because someone got a better algorithm. They're just not. And it's up to you to be the best short-term rental in town. Even with jet fuel at $4 a gallon and airfare up 50 to 100%, the assets in a desirable domestic market just got more valuable, not less. The short-term rental slowdown had people sitting on the sidelines for a minute, but now they're getting up and they're booking vacations, and they're booking vacations within a 6-hour drive of where they live. The window is still open, okay? There's still time to get in the game. This is going to affect things for many, many months. And if you don't have a short-term rental, the time is now to get one, because there are still people that are only looking at last year and hurting and going, someone take this off my hands. I'm sick of it. Get in there, take the opportunity, buy a hard asset, and be ready for this boom. You have the absolute best opportunity to buy at a lower price than you would have 2 years ago and also catch the wave up as it comes. The world is getting more and more uncertain around us. And in uncertain times, owning something real is not a risk. It's a really solid strategy. I've been doing it myself for over 20 years. It's time for you to get positioned because the data is coming. I'm calling it early, but it's coming. You'll see it. I've done this many times, and I'm so excited for how this year is going to turn out for us. So if you want to go deeper, AI and current events reshaping our asset classes and the value of hard assets. I already made a video. It's coming up on your screen. I really encourage you to watch it, and I really encourage you to keep your ear to the ground. Stay tuned to this channel because I'm going to keep talking about the trends that I see, and I'm going to keep giving you information on how to pivot and when to pivot. But right now, the asset class that's about to shoot up is short-term rentals. I said it first, and I'm going to keep saying it. I'll see you on the next video.
Savannah, where the dreamers dwell. Get your hustle on, ring that well bell.